Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Motivational Sundays with Kevin and friends. This show was originally created by one of the more than 300 motivational quotes I had created for the contents of my book. With over 40 years of studying human behavior, I got together with my co-hosts, Naheem, Denise, Danielle, Christopher, and Gilda. The truth, Mazan, oh yes. And the voice of our show, Otis, coming up there looking like a teenager, Barnez. We're always curious how one quote landed on one person to another. Were they words that just lay there on the page, or were there a conversation to be had? So we meet every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Each week, one of us brings a quote based on our interpretation and perspective. We have a conversation about it. So without any further ado, the voice of our show is the person that's going to introduce the quote for you. Otis, have your way with it.
Grand Rising, everyone. And the quote today: the most beautiful discovery true friends make is that they can grow separately without growing apart, by Elizabeth Foley.
All right, all right, all right. So, looking at that quote, the most beautiful discovery, a true friend. Now, I'm going to say this today. We're in a little conflict on the show today because I know one of our friends, a couple of our friends are extremely happy. A couple of their friends don't even know it. Okay. Extremely heartbreaking. Most recently, the NBA finals were in battle with New York and the Boston Celtics. Half of our team here is from Boston. The people with smiles on their face, I don't have to say it. You know where they're from, New York. So let me go ahead and open this quote up with Christopher. Christopher, how does this quote land on you?
Oh, I'm just loving the basketball thing. Grand Rising, everyone. Uh, the quote. I first heard the quote. I'm thinking, okay, wow, friends. And I must admit, sadly, that I have very few friends that I've actually uh, been apart with and then separate. Most of my friends either just go off forever. And of course, there are a few that I reconnect with when I visit home. But what struck me more than the idea of friends was my family. My I left my siblings back in '72 when I came into the Navy, and with the exception of I can count on my hand trips back home, I haven't seen them since then. And so I often thought, my goodness, I don't even know what these folks are doing. And we have this thing back where I grew up. You go away and come back white. And I was truly afraid of that. Oh my God. Yeah. So I go back home, and within a matter of about, I'll say, three or four really hard, stinging jokes, we're laughing like our bellies are about to explode. We reconnect to a couple of kids, uh, 6, 7, or 8 years old, that were us, back in this late '60s, and we're laughing like none of these years of separation ever happened. Um, and you know that we've gone back in time when we start using jokes or referring to jokes that we had on each other back in the '60s. Like, I mean, when your head was so big you couldn't even wrap your hands around it. You know, um, I've got one, got one
That's
younger brother who I swear didn't even bother to grow since he was 8 years old. But anyway, those jokes like that basically reconnect us, and you forget that it's been an entire military career. Hang on a sec.
all right, all right, all right. We're gonna let you take a little water. You know,
Actually, it's coffee. I mean, like, you cannot expect to savor the run for more than 3 minutes without coffee. So anyway, I need more.
he needs a little bit more.
There we go.
And for ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, I don't cut anything out of it. So, we're live. So if you're looking at this in playback or whatever, in the event that he passes out, we got someone that's going to resuscitate him. We will videotape that. It'll go viral and whatever, you know. So go ahead, Christopher. Are you still with us?
I appreciate that, Kevin. I really hate to miss that.
That's what friends will do.
It's love,
Most
man.
of the time.
It's love.
See, right now, back in the day, if you went down, most of your friends would help you. Now your friends would just videotape you to get likes.
Yeah. Oh, and I guess the number one would be my wife. She sit there and say, wait, don't move him yet. Don't move him yet. I get that angle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for us, it's our reunions that will allow us to look back over all the years we've been separated and then reconnect with the 12, 13-year-old kids that we were, way back when times were different and good.
Yeah. That's all right. Looking back on those days with friends, not a lot of us have those childhood friends. And yeah, I remember those jokes. Your mama this. I won't say that. I won't say that or not because we just had Mother's Day. I don't want to offend anyone, But that just kind of takes you back.
Yep.
I wondered how one of our queens on here would interpret friendship because it's one thing is that women hold on to lots of friends a lot longer than men hold on to friends, and I'm just always curious, when you talk about the most beautiful thing that you can discover is a friend, um, and that you can grow separately without growing apart. I wonder how this lands on Danielle, how that friendship. All right, because when I first was introduced to Danielle, she had a ride and die friend or whatever. So, how does that land on you, Danielle?
Grand rising again, everyone. Friendships are difficult to manage sometimes. For me, I'm not the type of person that calls you every day and sends you that text every morning. But as I build on a friendship, I want the person to know that if you need me at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm there for you. So I appreciate friendships that can take a break and come back together. And it's the beauty of it is having that conversation like you never stop speaking to each other for a little while. You come right back and you still have those same memories and you can still share your accomplishments and your challenges and still be vulnerable with this person. That to me is priceless because not everyone is good with that day-to-day friendship. So that's how that quote lands on me.
Well, I know if I could speak for all of us, we are happy to be in that circle that you call friends. At least, I think I could speak for everyone. If I'm speaking out of turn, please correct me. Um, so, truth. All right. The one thing about friendship, all right, and if you are a friend, your heart is always open and welcoming another friend, and anyone that's connected to someone I'm connected to, they're a friend, and that's the truth. All right. I sound like Dr. Breakthrough as I introduce the truth on this show. Truth is brand new. This is his first time on this show. Truth. How does this quote, and I'm going to ask before you answer, I'm going to ask Otis, the guy that brought us this quote, to use that $1 million voice in order to give us that quote again. Get ready. Buckle up, everyone. Here it comes.
The most beautiful discovery true friends make is that they can grow separately without growing apart.
All right. Elizabeth Foley. Truth. How's that quote land on you, bro?
Yeah. One of the things I like most about the quote is that it implies like growth, right? As an immutable component of the friendship we're talking about, right? So I think about some of my most trusted and closest friendships of people probably I speak to least frequently, right? And I think like there's an understanding that when you don't see me, right? Or when I don't see you, there's growth taking place, right? But when we come back, like we're both gonna come back bearing gifts, right? Whether that's with experience or wisdom or perspective that we could bring back to the table with one another. But there's that kind of trust and knowing that, yeah, my friend they over wherever they doing what they got to do, to honor themselves first and foremost, and then to, we'll come back together and we'll honor each other with what we've been building on. So I think that principle of growth is even more important than proximity in this sense, right? So yeah, that's what comes up for me. And really just maintaining friendships in all walks of life, right? Understanding that we may not be walking side by side at all the time, but yeah, we'll come back together. It'll happen.
Right. Embracing the development of friendship. That's the truth. Look at that. Wait, he's laying it down on us today on Sunday morning, 9 a.m. every Sunday, putting it down, the truth. I like that. Denise, one of our many, many gifts on this show. I hope all is going well on your end over there. I know it's a hard time for most people in Boston, but I want to say this: when this quote came up, there was a commercial that came on the first time I saw it, and it featured Jalen Bronson, Josh Hart, and Mikal Briggs, the three guys on the Knicks that graduated from Villanova. The fourth guy that used to play for him got traded to a competitive team, and it played the theme from Fast and Furious about friendship. And when you talk about people ride and die, it made me think about each and every last one of you when I talked about friendship, on how that we have grown for whatever reason, how we've started off the show from just us to all of us now, and how we've had each other's back. I mean, Denise and Naheem, you guys know that at one time, we had lost one of our friends that, we had spoke to on a Sunday, and then Monday she was gone, unexpectedly. So we know the level of friendship and commitment from here. But Denise, this quote by Elizabeth Foley, the most beautiful discovery true friendships make is that you may grow separately without growing apart. How that quote land on you?
Yeah, that's Grand Rising, everyone. This quote is heavy for me, especially like with the friendships that I have now. Because as an adult, I think friendship is hard, especially for women. There's a lot of competition. I don't compete with anyone because I compete with myself. So as I grow older, I see who like my true friends are, like the people that stay when you're going through stuff, not the people that they're just for parties. And the friends that I had like since I came to America like 30 years ago, like we're not in contact because life is lifing. They're always busy. They have kids and stuff. So when we meet, we get together once a month. It's just like we always been in contact. Like we check in on each other once in a while. Like we keep in touch. And for me, I have my bon dia that I send to people after prayer that I say every morning. And for me, that's the way for me to say I'm thinking about you. Like you are part of my life. And this group of like you guys have become family. It's not even friends anymore. And it's like I know if I'm going through something, I have you guys to count on, and I could just call. And with the friendship that I had for so long, I have certain people. I don't have a lot of friends like that, but the ones that when we get together, it's like, yeah, they're there. Like we talk and we get to catch up, and I feel the love. It's like when something is genuine, you feel the love. You feel that people are there for you. And as I grow older, I've seen who's my friends and who are not. Now I call people acquaintance. That's what I say. Like we just when we see each other, that's it. And I know how to separate them, but because before I didn't, because I'm too nice. I give people the benefit of the doubt. But when people start doing certain things, you're like, no, you're not for me. And God will show you who are your true friends and who are not. So for me, that's how it landed on me.
And that's the magic of having your faith, even in the darkest room. There's light, and with each and every last one of you, our friendship has been tested, and we've all passed the test. We've all been there for each other, and this is unique. This is so unique. to have a group of people every single week show up and give their time. I won't say donate. You're giving your time in order to pour in front of others. 10,000 people watch this that have never met any of us, and they listen to us. We're talking to you every single Sunday. And because of you, we get the chance to do this thing every single day. So, there's more of the queens on the show than kings. So I'm going to turn this over to Mazan. She just came back from Cambodia doing great things with her artwork. And for ladies and gentlemen, if you have not had a chance to Google anyone on this show, I'm going to tell you, if you are sitting in a space where you're alone, you're not alone now. If you're sitting in a place that you have questions and no answers, Google some of the people on this show and see what they're doing, because everything and anything will come true, but you got to put in the work. Nothing that's happened to any of us has happened to us by accident. But when it happens to one, it happens to all of us. We are not envious of anyone's success, and we're not looking for anyone's failures, because we're always there to put the next brick on the foundation of what's being built here. So, Mazan, I didn't mean to get carried away. I know you got so much to share with this quote, that big, pretty smile of yours, all dressed up. How does this quote land on you?
Well, Elizabeth Foley, this is a great quote, and thank you, Otis, for bringing it. First of all, I'm not as lucky as Christopher and a few of you on that have such great friends that last over the years from childhood. I feel like my childhood friends, as we evolve, things changes, like Denise had said. But first and foremost, I do want to say about the panel and say about, it's been less than a year that I've been with us, like Kevin's corrected me, and I do consider everyone here a friend, and I'm really grateful for that, particularly for one person I'm going to single out that I've known her less than a year, and I feel I can count on her, and that's Larnez. And it grows to show to me that I did not need a childhood friend to feel extra close to someone. Time does not matter when it comes to friendship, how long you know someone. I think it's the vibes, it's how you feel, it's how someone treats you. Like, I felt so accepted with everyone here on the panel, and you guys just welcomed me very quickly. I've had a childhood friend from since I was 9, we've all had checkered past. So in my 20s, I've partied a lot, and I would say. And when you change and you grow out of your party mode, friends that you've known since as a childhood and teenage years, and they still want to party, but that's not you anymore. So as you evolve, that's where I think this quote hits home. As you evolve and you do grow, they're not growing with you. They're growing in their own way, but they want to grow in the same way they've known you. So they've known me as, okay, we'll go party, going clubbing, but that's not who I am, but that's who they are. That's still them. But so friendship, it evolves, just like how we evolve. At 53 years old, I feel that my friend circle is extremely small and selective now. I am friends. I'm an extremely friendly person. I speak to everyone, and everyone will, I'm very friendly. But when it comes to true friendship, it takes a lot more than just a smile, and it takes a lot more than just one conversation. Sometimes it really see how little that person, someone checking in on me, creates more of a friendship than someone who will just, say, hey, I have this event. Do you want to come or something? It's not about what someone can do or expand for you or to help. It's emotions. It's how someone relates to you. Like as simple as Gilda. I was in Massachusetts, and Gilda was like, "Oh, I wish I knew you were here." And she Facebooked me and said, "We would love to meet." That mattered. That mattered a lot. That I was like, "Wow, I'm left New York. I'm in Massachusetts, and here's Gilda saying, "What, would have loved to meet for lunch." That mattered more than saying, having people that I've known for years just out of the blue just say, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" I know it's not genuine. I think what I'm trying to say in friendship, with the separation and the growth, it has to be genuine. And it does not matter about time, how long you know someone. It does not matter about how much conversation
one may have, and we're going, and we're going. And believe it or not, every now and then we have a little technical difficulty, and thank God, with the grace of God, the technology, we get a little stuck. All right, and so not to interrupt the show, we're going to go ahead and ask Gilda how this quote lands on her. Why we work on the technical issues on our show. So Gilda, how does this quote land on you?
Grand Rising, everyone. How does this quote land on me? Friends can drift apart, yet remain connected.
Yeah. Internet.
Yeah, just like the internet. That's how it landed on me.
That's how it landed on her.
Short and sweet as always.
Always, always. So we're going to open up this door. Again, electricity went out on Mazan over there, a little power outage. I told you, sometimes, there's someone trying to make sure we don't get the message. Hey, but look at this. We're all connected. So, Naheem, all right, doing great things. Got a couple movies coming out again. And thank you for sending me the music. So I got a little difference in my head. I got to see the movie Sinner. And from what everyone in my family have said and whatever, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen the movie with Michael E. Jordan, it's a must. And I will say this, all right, because we are in a particular time in this world when someone is trying to change. We have a lot of people that look like us that are creating great content, either by spoken word, either in our literature, or either on stage in our movies. In order to have that seat at the table, we must build our own home to have our table placed in the center of that room. And so support the arts, support the people, show up in a positive fashion. We know how this country was built. All right. It is no secret. All right. We made America great. So, Naheem, why step off my pedestal real quick? How does this quote land on you?
Peace, everyone. It's funny that this is the quote today because this morning I woke up to a text from a friend of mine that I haven't seen in about 4 or 5 years. And we started talking and it felt like it was just yesterday. I mean, true friendships are a bond. I don't have to talk to you every day. I don't have to talk to you every year. But when we do connect, it just feels like we were together the other day. And then the other thing is true friends that showed up on Sunday of a couple of weeks ago and at the Apollo to support the children competing at the national competition. That was really touching. And it's nice to see all these faces that I see on a Sunday show up physically to give them an embrace and to let them know that I truly appreciate your presence and appreciate your friendship and appreciate what you do to support the children I work with. That was really important to them. And one of my little guys is having a hard time. And I had to point out, think about all your wins. Don't think about what you lost. Think about your wins. That out of 8,000, 20,000 kids in America, you made the top 9 out of the top 9. You made the top 3 out of the top 3. You were one of the 2 that got to come to the Apollo at all expenses paid. And you got to meet people from different parts of the United States and probably some friendships that you will establish that you'll love forever and ever and ever. So think about your wins. And don't worry about all these losses because you lose every time. You lose hair, you lose age, you lose time, you lose. So think about your gains and the fact that he gained so much. The fact that, did you think about 5 months ago when you started this process that you would be even in a position to be able to even win or to even compete on a national level? So think about your wins. So when I think about this quote, I think about ties that will bind us, ties that will keep us, ties that will keep us going, ties that we are surprised to hear from 5 years later. you know, it's just a beautiful thing. So it's a nice quote. Thank you for the quote, and that's how it landed on me. Keep your ties together. Keep your shoes tied.
All right, keep your ties together. And Naheem, thank you for all the work that you do on the silver screen on stage. But most of all, I want to thank you for what you do to improving those in your community.
Yeah.
People that don't have the opportunities that many of us have, that don't see light at the end of the day. You are that beacon that says that everything is possible. So thank you for the things that you do. And because
Thank you, Kevin.
power kind of cut Mazan off before she was able to finish her quote.
She was dropping it.
She was dropping it, and you know something. I'm going to reset and ask Mazan, how's this quote land on you?
Thank you so much. And I'm so sorry, everyone. It's so windy outside. The lights just went off for a second and I'm still talking. And I'm like, oh, no one's moving. Kind of lost my train of thought, but I'll go back to my heart where it was. And it was about time does not matter how long you know someone to build a friendship. Because my childhood friends are no longer that close the way they should be. It is a short span of time. It all depends on, I go very closely with energy and vibes, how we feel around someone. If you are around someone and you're lighthearted and you don't feel pressured, that's a friend.
That's all right. And the wind got her.
For this question, or they're asking for that, or they have an ulterior reason that they want to be around you because they feel okay, you could do something for them, or that's an acquaintance, that's not a friend, or it's a business partner.
And see, this is one of the beautiful things about doing something live. Sometimes things happen and we have to go on. But that's what friends do. We got your back no matter what. We know what you were saying.
Thank you.
And
So she's saying all that extra powerful stuff. They said, "Don't shut her off before she says something more." Shut her off.
Absolutely.
That's what happens in this day and age that we have. Will we say something that people are afraid to hear? They throw a little extra wind your way. They cut off your lights. They burn a book. You know, they change your name. They don't allow you to be who you are. All right, they can't stop us. They can't stop us. All right, and I'm going to tell you. All right, we got our own wind. You know, in most neighborhoods, she becomes a thunderstorm. But in this day and age, when Lynette speaks, it's like that cold breeze, that cool breeze you have that tickles your toes when you're laying on the beach. You have that little drink with a little umbrella in it, and you're looking over the high seas and looking over the horizon, and it says, I wonder what's over there. All right. I'm going to go ahead and unshackle myself from my position right now. I'm going to set sails to see what's over on the other side of Larnaz horizon. But while I'm on my journey, talk to me, Larnaz. How's this quote land on you?
Well, blissful rising, and your lineups keep getting better and better. That's all I'm going to say. You're making me feel warm and tingly this morning. True friendship is not bound by proximity. It's tethered by energy. And energy is not limited to any one space or moment in time. When the roots run deep, the branches must stretch wide. You are not here to shrink for the sake of staying close. You are here to bloom. And the beauty is this: when love is real, you both unfold in different directions and still be tethered to the same sacred soil. Growth doesn't always mean walking side by side. Sometimes it means walking in your own path with your own quiet knowing that your sister, your soul friend, your reflection is walking theirs too. And you both are still in rhythm. This is the medicine of mature connection. We rise individually and still remain soulfully woven together. So release the guilt, release the grasp. If If it's love, it will expand and not expire. And I just want to say, in the time we are in today, God is introducing two people to your life. People to show your growth and people to show your potential. So if you pay attention to these individuals in your life, I just want to say, pay attention to your introductions, because God right now is showing you your growth and your potential. So which way you want to grow? Which way do you want to lean towards? Because the choice is always yours. And that's how this landed on me.
Man,
Where does she get all these words from, man?
I have no idea, but I'm telling
It
you, I'm
takes
going to use
five,
I'm going to tell you in Larness's terms, frequency. All right. When you talk about the energy, you talk about that needle goes all the way to the other side. It just leaned there and laid there this time. It was on high, higher and higher. Okay. And then it came back and said, "Did you hear what I said? Did you get that? Oh, if you didn't get that, we're going to give it to you again." Boom. And drop the mic. All right. Larness. Otis. Man, oh man. Bringing this quote by Elizabeth Foley. All right. You see what you did? You took the lid off of it. All right. Look, you took the lid off of it and look what popped out. All right. So many amazing interpretations today on this quote. You got the truth. You got the frequency and energy. You got the love of a sister. You got the love of a brother. We talked about, relationships that have been remained dormant, that like gasoline to a match, there's a flame that sparked again, like it was just yesterday. I'm going to tell you, when you got a friend, you got a friend. All right.
Mhm.
I am so lucky to have you guys as friends. And like Naheem said, when you need us, we'll be there. Each and every last one of you. I can I can say, no matter how dark it is, you guys all are light. You're the beacon in that room. Every last one of you. And how I know this is because I watch how you move, your actions 24/7. All right. I know Naheem gets tired of talking to me at 2:00 in the morning. All right. So Otis, how's this quote land on you?
Well, as you see in the picture here, to me and a friend from 1963, we're friends in the third grade. He only lived a block away from me, a block or two. My parents we grew up in Roxbury. My parents had a place in Duxbury. He says, "Oh, let me get away from all the bad crowds." So he'd come down and visit with us for the weekend. My father liked to garden, help us garden. We had a pool down there, did a lot of things together. Then as time passes, high school comes along, he moves up to Andover. We still keep in touch during that time. Then later, as college came along, I went to college. He ended up getting to the military. And when he came back into the area, he would come back home and he would visit my mom. And so now he's living in Georgia. His mom only lives about 20 minutes away from me. When he comes up, I greet him at the airport, take him around, let him do his visits, visit his mom, and do whatever he needs to do. I give the mom her Mother's Day card or an Easter card, birthday cards, do whatever I can. And this is a friendship that has lasted 62 years.
62 years and counting. All right. 62 years and counting. Wow. The most beautiful discovery true friendship makes is that they can grow separately without growing apart, by Elizabeth Foley. There have been so many wonderful takes on here of this quote, all personal. On the subject of friendship, when it first came up to me, I said, we failed to embrace the development of what a true friend is. A friend to me is someone that waters the seeds in your heart. They help you grow without you even knowing it. It's a bond that should never be broken and even tested. It can't be broken. True friendships survive the roughest of waters, as we talked about, as I talked about, Larnaz in the sea. Friendship is resilient. It's enough to withstand a life's change, no matter how many times we speak, how many times we see each other, or how many times that we need and don't ask. I think the hardest thing and what a real friend is, and I will say this because I can say this about each and every last one of you. I've always been taught that you have to be a friend and show their actions. But what a friend truly is that person that says, I need you. Allow yourself to be vulnerable to someone else. That's being a good friend. I put on a good face every single day, but you have no idea what it feels like when I get a phone call from Christopher without being prompted. 2 days ago, Larnett says, look, I just called you just to check in on you. Denise, we've done that. I apologized to Mazan. I said, I need to make sure that I call her, and that's being honest. All right, because I realize that busy people, we need to make time for our people to remind them that, we're all going through some stuff. Danielle, I can say this about each and every one. I'm welcoming the truth, and it's funny that I went from writing motivational quotes and now I'm pouring my heart into music. That, when I send it over to Naheem at 2 o'clock in the morning, I know I may joke. He goes, are you all right? All right. As sometimes he says, there's a couple things you need from listening to the words. And, today, I had a conversation yesterday with a friend that I lost sleep over. And because of the song that I wrote, Naheem's, he had questioned. And I said, this was something that I woke up that was heavy, not only in my mind, but it was carrying in my heart. And I had to put it down in words. I don't know what it sounded like out at the end of the day. But a true friendship makes you strong. It is that armor that is always there to protect you. And is a true friend will uphold the standards and hold you to a standard that you claim that you have. Mm-hmm. And the nice thing about a friend and a good friend, and I can almost guarantee you, every last one of you, a good friend will call you on your bullshit. All right. Mm. All right. And still remain your friend. Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's how this quote landed on me. I don't know if we've affected you, infected you, connected you, have you reflect on someone that you need to be there for. But I will tell you, when your friends have their moment, let them have it, celebrate it. Don't hate. All right. When a friend is in that space, that they don't have questions to their answers, don't try to answer those questions because they don't know. Just give them a hug and just be there. Mm-hmm. All right. Be that friend that just sits in the room and waits till the other buddy turns over to you and says, so what do you want to talk about? Be that friend. All right. So, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to thank the over 10,000 people that have given life to this show. I want to thank Danielle, Mazan, Naheem, Otis, the voice of our show, Christopher and Gilda, for being the example of what two lovebirds really are, to Denise and to Larnez and to the truth. And to all the other people that's ever come on this show, I want to thank you for not only being wonderful co-hosts, but great friends to this. So we meet every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We probably are the only podcast that allows someone to come in and be part of the show. And I will tell you, if you click on the link and you get here, we start 15 minutes early so we can do a production chat for sound and light and everything else. Show up on time. We start on time. We start on time. I'll say that again. That's an inside joke with us. And my grandfather always said, and I love my grandfather. And going through a tough time, I think my friends on this show that knows have been there for me in the last couple of weeks. And I hate that I missed the Apollo thing, but my friends, they were there for me. My grandfather always said, when you get to a point in life that you can help someone He says your duty to do so. He said reach one, teach one. And we do what?
And with that, we fade to black.